The IHS Jane's World Defence Industry Survey is now in its 6th year, and every year we run this with the objective of taking the pulse of the world's industries. So we want to know about the employment outlook, confidence, the state of competition, and also the views of the respondents on world defence spending. How do they see spending moving over the next 5 years? I think the biggest finding in the 2015 survey is that confidence overall is up, optimism is up. The biggest point was employment prospects, the employment outlook. One of the big questions we always ask is, how do you see the payroll at your organisation changing in the next year? This year, the result was a record, the highest positive in 6 years of running the survey. The interesting thing about competition that we took from this survey, and I should say we always ask 3 questions about competition. Now, the first is, of course, has competition increased in the last year? The feeling still is that competition is increasing, but we're noticing a gulf emerging between the regions of the world. So in Europe and North America, fewer people than in previous years feel that competition is still rising. It seems to be plateauing. The rest of the world, the emerging markets, the feeling is that competition is still running away. Now, the interesting thing globally isn't so much the rate of change or how competition is increasing, it is what's driving competition. In past years, 9 out of 10 respondents typically would say budgets, spending, that is the big driver. This year, that fell by something like 20 percentage points. The big increase, the biggest driver of competition, was political instability and conflict change. The fact that we're living in a very uncertain world. Every year we ask respondents to this survey, how will defence spending look over the next 5 years? And we ask them about specific markets, some of the biggest markets in the world, United States, United Kingdom, France, Germany, China. We ask them to give us a view on how things are going to change. Is spending going to stay the same? Is it going to increase? Or is it going to decrease? Now, this year there was greater confidence for the Western markets of the world. The feeling is that at worst, spending in Europe and the United States is going to be relatively flat. Now at IHS we put a lot of effort into forecasting defence spending over a long period to a high degree of granularity. We don't quite share the optimism of the respondents, particularly when it comes to the United States, but our views do square when it comes to the rest of the world. So naturally we do see greater spending in the Gulf states, in Southeast Asia and of course China.